Hey guys, back again. Dr. Green Sickles coming back at you with some advanced nutrients questions. For anybody that has any questions about what to buy on Bloom or Veg on advanced nutrients, tune in. Alright guys, I'll start it out pretty simple. We'll go with the part A and the part B's and just your micronutrients first. And we'll dig into other shit here in a little bit. So your part A's and your part B's usually are going to be one of these. You're going to have your connoisseur. You got your Bloom A and B. That's what they look like. That's for Bloom. You come over here. That's for Grow. They got the A and the B. There's your Sensi. Your Sensi Grow, which is for Veg. A and B. B52. Veg or Bloom. Bloom 3 to 6 weeks into bloom on a normal 8-week flowering schedule. Okay. Let's go over here, guys. Nirvana, that's 3 to 6 weeks in your bloom schedule. Cushy Kush is 2 to 4 weeks in your bloom schedule. Don't run this shit in your veg. Bud Factor X, that's all through your bloom cycle. This shit's expensive. I pay like $120 a liter for it. Bud Candy, run it all through your bloom cycle. And every single one besides your parts, part A's and part B's are going to be 2 mils per liter. So 8 mils per down. It's pretty easy. This is also a veg, but it is a 3-part series. You get your micro, grow, and your bloom. Some people run this in the bloom too, but I do not personally. I mean, it doesn't say bloom on it. It just says for all grow phase. And if you notice, if they want it to use in a bloom, they will label bloom on the motherfucker, or you can use it in bloom and veg, and it says it on there. Here's your other veg nutrients. That's a 3-part system. It's a little cheaper. It's called Jungle Juice. Let's get one you can see a little better over here. And this is also like a 4 mil per liter, just as the same as your other part A's and B's. It really doesn't say it on there like it does normally, but I would say it's just wanting you to recommend to part A and part B. That's how I ran that shit. Just the same as the micro grow. These over here, micro grow, bloom, and micro grow and bloom. This is Ancient Earth. I just started running this. It seems like it's worked pretty good. You can run that in both. It's a both veg and bloom nutrient. Then you got your rhino skin over here. This is, obviously what it says. It's just pretty much a silicate in a bottle. And it helping strengthen your stems. And it does work. I will admit that. Big Bud, you run this 2 to 4 also in the bloom, 2 to 4 weeks on an 8-week flowering cycle. This shit, buy it. Any of this shit, buy it, guys. Come on, it looks cool and it works. Most importantly, it fucking works. Just make sure to do a good flush. That is the most important thing with running good nutrients like this. They want you to flush good. They're not making this to fucking smoke. Now, I'm not saying you can't smoke any, not, you know what I mean? It's not gonna blow up, combust on you. But goddamn, flush, guys. Please flush. 2 weeks at least. Flush, flush, flush. Back to the nutrients. Got a little off track with that shit. But here's carb load. That's also your 2 mils per liter. It's in your only bloom. It's all during your bloom phase from week 1 through week 1 through 6. The only things that they're really going to want you to run, like maybe week 7, that I've kind of picked up on, maybe is what they're getting at, is the flawless finish. But I really don't use that much, honestly. That's why I just have this little bottle of it. As you can tell, it helps strips. I mean, it's what it says. It really is like a stripper pretty much. But to me, that's like adding more shit while you're fleshing. So I just don't use it. But it's probably recommended. So there's the advanced nutrient line, guys. That's what I got going on. I forgot to cover the bud igniter. The bud igniter is first 2 weeks of bloom cycle. That's the only one they have is the first 2 weeks of bloom cycle. Like that states on the bottle is the bud igniter. And that will put the buds on. Like as soon as you put, I actually run that. Like my last week in veg, I will run that in my veg room under my veg lights. And then I'll throw them into my bloom rooms. So just to let you know, catch up on that, guys. And also, if you guys are into mycorrhizas and stuff like that, get you some good old Great White. It's not that much. This is a powder. And this is like a granule stuff that you can buy. It's mycorrhizas also. They sell the azos of this too. I just bought some of that too. It's coming. I'm going to try her out. Every time I transplant, guys, I use this. I'll use 2 tablespoons as recommended to like 1 to 3 gallon containers. I use a 2-gallon pot. In my 2-gallon pots, I'll use 2 teaspoons, or tablespoons. I'll use a tablespoon and a half at the minimum. And I'll just spread it like, you'll fill your dirt up. Then like if you're using solo cups, I'll put my solo cup in the dirt, fill it up around, and put my solo cup out, and then I'll sprinkle it in that hole, and then I'll take my root ball out of my solo cup and then put it inside there. Because they must contact the roots. That's what it even states it on the bag. Can't really see that. I'm not going to make it dizzy, but it does state. And don't forget to water, guys, when you transplant that, obviously. Don't want to forget your water. And if you're running mycorrhizas, it's always, like they always say, it's good to run like some kind of sugar. Maybe molasses for your organic growers out there or something. I'm not an organic grower by any means. I love my nutrients. Plants do too. And now I'm not hating on you organic growers, guys. Keep it up. Maybe one day I'll do it. For now, I'm going to keep doing what works for me. And kudos to you guys that can make some real good looking bud out of organic. Back on track again. We got some Sensizyme. Always running that shit. I just find it cheaper for me to buy this at my local grocery store because it's a little cheaper there in this small bottle. Everything else is kind of harder to get. I just buy it online. The only thing I forgot to show you guys the Voodoo Juice. This is the same scenario. I get about cheaper at my grocery store. These 2 small bottles right here. Voodoo Juice, guys. Beneficial bacteria. You can run this in flour and veg too, but it's recommended to run like, at the beginning of your growth, like the beginning, you know what I mean, of your growth cycle. If that makes sense to you guys. Of either, you know what I mean, of either growth cycle. It's just to get your roots up and going. Get them all fat, fluffy, white, how you want them for nutrient uptake. It's about sums that up. And there you go, guys. Advanced Nutrient line. I'm sure they got a lot more products. This is what I have. I did pick up the Fox Farm you've seen in my other videos. Damn, there's one more I forgot to show you guys. Sorry for looking at whatever you're looking at right now. Revive, and this a hot bitch on the front of that mug. This is like it boosts your plants up, you know what I mean? If they're feeling down, if they're heat stressed, if they're just, other than the weather, man, just, you hit them with this, they're back up running good, man. I'm a firm believer in this shit too. I mean, and it does put the fucking peak back into condition, if you know what I mean. Hey guys. Anywho, that's what I'm running. That's the Dirty Dozen by Fox Farm. We'll touch on that later when we do the experiment on Fox Farm versus Advanced Nutrients. Take it easy, guys.